My name is Nora Bellamy. I'm 29 years old. I spent my entire life being called the ugly one by my own parents. The afterthought, the backup plan, the daughter they never bothered to invest in. 6 months ago, my sister Evelyn got married. My parents spent $85,000 on her wedding. The dress alone cost $15,000. When I mentioned that Nicholas and I were also planning to get married, my mother looked at me like I told a joke. "Honey," she said, "do you really think anyone would come? Evelyn is the pretty one. We have to invest wisely." So I sat in the back row, seat 299 out of 300 guests. I didn't expect anything to change that day. But then the best man stood up for his speech, and everything I thought I knew about my perfect sister came crashing down. Before I tell you what happened when Samuel grabbed that microphone, please take a moment to like and subscribe, but only if you truly enjoy this story. Drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from and what time it is there. It all started 3 years ago when my sister first brought Christian home. Growing up in the Bellamy household meant understanding your place early. Evelyn was the sun. I was whatever orbited around her, barely visible against her glow. My mother, Patricia, had been a beauty pageant contestant in her 20s. She never won. Came close twice, she liked to remind us, but she poured every unfulfilled dream into my older sister. Evelyn had the blonde hair, the blue eyes, the bone structure that made strangers stop and stare. By the time she was 6, she was already competing in Little Miss contests across the state. Me. I had brown hair, brown eyes, a face my mother once described as pleasant enough. "You're pretty in your own way," she'd tell me, smoothing down my hair while her eyes drifted toward Evelyn, practicing her wave in the mirror. Not everyone needs to be beautiful. I learned to disappear. While Evelyn accumulated trophies and sashes, I accumulated books. While my mother drove her to pageants every weekend, I walked myself to the library. When I made the honor roll in 8th grade, no one came to the ceremony. They were at Evelyn's regional competition. "We'll celebrate when you get home," Dad promised over the phone. They forgot. I found our family photo albums once, tucked in the hall closet. 47 pages dedicated to Evelyn. Every pageant, every recital, every milestone. 3 pages for me. 1 baby photo, 1 kindergarten picture, 1 awkward shot from middle school graduation where half my face was cut off. I counted twice, thinking I'd missed something. I hadn't. My mother lived through Evelyn because Evelyn was everything she'd wanted to be, and I was just there. The other daughter, the one who didn't need investment. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself I was fine. I was 29 years old before I realized I'd been lying. Christian Hayes walked into our lives at a charity gala 3 years ago. Evelyn was there as an influencer. She built a following of 500,000 people who watched her apply lipstick and talk about self-care. Christian was there because his family had funded the entire event. The Hayes family, old money, the kind of wealth that doesn't need to announce itself. When Evelyn brought him home for Sunday dinner, my mother nearly fainted. "A Hayes," she whispered to my father in the kitchen, gripping his arm. "Can you imagine our Evelyn with a Hayes?" From that moment, every conversation in our house revolved around Christian. Christian's job at the investment firm, Christian's family estate in Connecticut, Christian's mother's preference for winter weddings. I'd sit at the dinner table, invisible, while my parents mapped out Evelyn's future like generals planning a campaign. "This could change everything for our family," Mom said once, not even bothering to lower her voice. I'd been dating Nicholas for 2 years by then. He taught high school English, Shakespeare, and Steinbeck to teenagers who mostly didn't care. He made me laugh. He remembered my birthday. He never once made me feel like I was someone's backup plan. The first time I brought him to meet my parents, my mother's smile flickered. "A teacher," she said, looking him up and down. "Well, that's nice." "He's brilliant," I said. "I'm sure he is, honey." She turned to my father. "Did Evelyn tell you? Christian's taking her to the Hamptons next weekend." Nicholas squeezed my hand under the table. He didn't say anything. He didn't have to. That night driving home, He asked me why I kept trying. I didn't have a good answer. I still don't. But I do remember the first time I saw Julian Hayes, Christian's younger brother, looking at my sister like she was something he wanted to devour. Christian proposed on Evelyn's 32nd birthday. A 3-carat diamond, a rooftop in Manhattan, a photographer hiding behind a potted plant to capture her surprised face for Instagram. The engagement announcement came with a budget that made my head spin. $85,000. My mother announced at dinner, beaming like she'd won the lottery. The venue alone is $40,000, but the Hayes family knows the owner. We're getting a discount. $85,000 for one day, for flowers that would wilt, cake that would be eaten, and a dress that would hang in a closet forever. I'd been engaged to Nicholas for 3 months by then. He proposed quietly in our apartment with his grandmother's ring, and a speech he'd practiced so many times he still stumbled over the words. I said yes before he finished. I hadn't told my parents. I was waiting for the right moment. That night I thought maybe the moment had come. Nicholas and I are engaged too, I said when my mother paused for breath. We're thinking of a small ceremony. Maybe next spring. The silence was worse than any words could have been. My mother set down her wine glass. Mila, honey, that's sweet. We could do something in the backyard, I continued. Nothing fancy, just family and close friends. Sweetheart. Mom's voice was gentle, the way you'd talk to a child who didn't understand. Do you really think anyone would come? I mean, she didn't finish. She didn't have to. We have to invest wisely, she said. Evelyn is the pretty one. This wedding could open doors for the whole family. My father said nothing. He stared at his plate like the mashed potatoes held the secrets of the universe. His silence hurt more than her words. I should have walked away then, I told Nicholas that night. I should have been done. But I wasn't, because the engagement party was in 2 weeks. And that's when everything started to unravel. The Hayes estate looked like something from a magazine. White columns, manicured hedges, waiters gliding through the crowd with champagne flutes that probably cost more than my monthly rent. I went alone. Nicholas wasn't invited. Limited space, Evelyn had explained, not quite meeting my eyes. Family only. You understand? I understood perfectly. The engagement party was a parade of people I didn't know, Christian's college friends, his parents' business associates, distant relatives with last names that appeared on buildings. I drifted through the crowd like a ghost, smiling when smiled at, nodding when nodded to. That's when I first really noticed Julian. Christian's younger brother was 28, a fitness trainer with the kind of body that belonged on a billboard. He had the same dark hair as Christian, the same strong jaw, but there was something sharper in his eyes, something hungry. I watched him watching Evelyn across the room. She was holding court near the champagne fountain, laughing at something a guest had said. Julian's gaze never left her. When she glanced his way, something passed between them, quick, electric, gone before I could name it. I shook it off. I was being paranoid, sensitive, jealous probably, though I hated to admit it. Beautiful party, isn't it? I turned to find an older man beside me, camera hanging from his neck. He had kind eyes and gray hair that curled at his temples. Philip Hayes, he said, extending his hand. Christian's uncle. I'm the unofficial family photographer. Nora, Evelyn's sister. Ah, his smile was warm. The one she never talks about. I laughed, surprised. That obvious? I noticed things. He tapped his camera. Occupational hazard. Amazing what a zoom lens can capture these days. Every moment, even the ones people think nobody sees. He wandered off to photograph the happy couple. I didn't think much of it then. I should have. Nicholas was waiting up when I got home. One look at my face, and he pulled me onto the couch, wrapping his arms around me like he could shield me from my own family. You don't have to keep doing this, he said quietly. Doing what? Trying with them. He pulled back to look at me. Nora, I've watched them treat you like an afterthought for 2 years. Every dinner, every holiday. You deserve better. They're my family. Family doesn't make you feel like this. I wanted to argue. I wanted to defend them the way I always did. They're not that bad. They don't mean it. It's just how they are. But the words stuck in my throat. I keep hoping, I said finally, that one day they'll see me. Really see me, the way they see Evelyn. And if they never do? The question hung between us, heavy and unanswerable. I thought about what I stood to lose if I kept silent. My self-respect, certainly. My relationship with Nicholas, because how long could he watch me be treated like this before he stopped respecting me too? My chance at peace, at building a life that wasn't shadowed by my sister's glow. Nicholas proposed 3 months ago, I said suddenly. I haven't told them. I've been scared to tell them because I knew they would make me feel like it didn't matter. Like I don't matter. He was quiet for a long moment. You matter to me, he said. You will always be my first choice. I cried then, ugly, heaving sobs that I'd held in for 29 years. This is the last time, I promised him. The wedding I'll go. I'll watch Evelyn have her perfect day, and then I'm done. We'll build our own life away from them. 3 months until the wedding. 3 months to endure. But fate, as it turned out, had other plans. The bridal shower was held at a boutique hotel downtown. 20 of Evelyn's closest friends, influencers, socialites, women with perfect hair and sharper smiles. I arrived early to help set up, as instructed, not as a guest, as the help. Can you arrange the gift table? Evelyn asked without looking at me. And make sure the appetizers come out on time. You know how caterers can be. Sure. I spent the first hour adjusting centerpieces and directing waitstaff. When I finally sat down with a plate of untouched cucumber sandwiches, one of Evelyn's friends approached. You're the sister, right? She had extensions down to her waist and lashes that could fan a small fire. You two look so different. Evelyn appeared beside her, champagne in hand. We get that a lot. You must be so excited for her. I smiled, thrilled. Nora's my little helper today. Evelyn patted my shoulder. She's the organized one in the family. Organized, not beautiful, not successful. Organized. The girl who arranges gift tables. I'll go check on the appetizers, I said. See, Evelyn's voice followed me. Always so helpful. I was halfway to the kitchen when I glanced back. Evelyn had her phone out, hidden beneath the tablecloth. She was typing rapidly, a secret smile playing on her lips. The kind of smile that had nothing to do with wedding planning. I knew that smile. I'd worn it myself in the early days with Nicholas, when every text from him felt like a gift. But Christian was across town at his bachelor party. So who was making the bride smile like that? I pushed the thought away. I was being paranoid, seeing problems where there were none. But that night I couldn't sleep. And 3 days later Samuel Reed called. The call came on a Tuesday afternoon. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Is this Nora Bellamy? The voice was male, controlled, with an undercurrent of something I couldn't identify. Urgency, maybe, or anger. Who's asking? Samuel Reed. I'm Christian's best man. We met briefly at the engagement party. I remembered him vaguely, tall, serious, watching the crowd with the sharp eyes of someone who made a living asking questions. Christian had mentioned he was a journalist. We need to talk, he said. About Christian. I barely know Christian. That's the problem. A pause. Neither does he. The words hung there, strange and ominous. I'm not sure what you're. Can we meet? Somewhere private. There's something you need to know. Something about your sister. My stomach dropped. What about her? Not over the phone, please. Every instinct told me to hang up, to stay out of it, to let whatever was happening between Evelyn and whoever remain none of my business. But that smile, that secret smile at the bridal shower. Tomorrow, I heard myself say. The coffee shop on 5th and Main. 3 o'clock, I'll be there. He hung up before I could change my mind. Nicholas found me staring at my phone 20 minutes later. Who was that? Christian's best man. I set the phone down. He says he needs to tell me something about Evelyn. What kind of something? I don't know yet. Nicholas sat beside me, concern etched in his face. Nora, whatever this is, you don't have to get involved. I know. But something in me, the part that had been silent for 29 years, the part that had watched and waited and never spoken up, that part wanted to know. For once, I wanted to know what was really going on. Samuel was already waiting when I arrived, hunched over a black coffee like it held answers he couldn't find anywhere else. Up close, he looked tired. The kind of tired that comes from knowing something you wish you didn't. Thank you for coming. He gestured to the seat across from him. I wasn't sure you would. I almost didn't. I sat, wrapping my hands around my untouched latte. So what's this about? He didn't waste time with pleasantries. Christian is like a brother to me. We've known each other since freshman year. He's one of the most decent people I've ever met. Samuel met my eyes. He deserves to know the truth. About what? Your sister and Julian. The name hit me like cold water. Julian, Christian's brother, the one with the hungry eyes. I've seen them together, Samuel continued. At the engagement party. At a restaurant 2 weeks ago. Last month, I saw Evelyn leaving Julian's apartment building at 2 in the morning. That doesn't mean. I know what I saw. I thought of Evelyn's secret smile, the way Julian had watched her across the room. Why are you telling me this? Because Christian won't listen to me. He thinks I'm being paranoid, overprotective. Samuel leaned forward. But you're her sister. You might have noticed something. Anything. The bridal shower. The hidden phone. The text that made her glow. I don't know anything for certain, I said carefully. But you've seen something. I hesitated. Maybe. Then help me. His voice cracked just slightly. Help me save him from marrying someone who's lying to him. I should have said no. Should have walked away. Let the cards fall where they would. Instead, I asked, what exactly are you planning to do? Whatever I have to. The wedding was 8 weeks away, and I had just stepped into something I couldn't step out of. The rehearsal dinner was held in a private room in one of the city's oldest restaurants. Dark wood paneling, crystal chandeliers, the kind of quiet elegance that whispered old money. I sat at the far end of the table between two of Christian's elderly aunts, who kept forgetting my name. During a lull between courses, I excused myself and wandered toward the back of the room where Philip Hayes stood alone, scrolling through his camera. Getting good shots? I asked. He looked up, surprised, then smiled. Nora, the invisible sister. You remembered. I told you I noticed things. He turned the camera toward me, showing the LCD screen. Want to see? He clicked through dozens of images. Evelyn laughing with Christian, my parents beaming, champagne toasts and candlelit clothes UPS. Then he paused on one photo. The smile faded from his face, his jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. Something wrong? I asked. Some moments shouldn't be captured, he muttered, more to himself than to me. He clicked past it before I could see, but I caught a glimpse. Two figures tucked into what looked like a shadowed corner. Close. Too close. Uncle Philip. Christian's voice cut through the room. Come get a shot of us with Mom and Dad. Philip forced a smile. Duty calls. He left, but his words echoed in my head. Some moments shouldn't be captured. I found Samuel across the room, deep in conversation with one of the groomsmen. Our eyes met briefly. He gave me an almost imperceptible nod. Later, walking to my car, my phone buzzed. Samuel. Philip saw something. I'm sure of it. Working on getting him to talk. I stared at the message for a long time. Whatever was happening, it was bigger than suspicions and glances now. There was proof somewhere, and someone was going to find it. 1 week before the wedding, Samuel called again. I have it, he said without preamble. Everything we need. My heart hammered against my ribs. What do you mean everything? Philip came through. There's a video from the engagement party, and I have screenshots of text messages between Evelyn and Julian. Months of them. It's bad, Nora. I sank onto my couch, the phone pressed hard against my ear. How did you get the messages? Julian's ex-girlfriend. She found them on his iPad and kept copies when she suspected he was cheating. A bitter laugh. Turns out she was right, just not with who she thought. Part of me wanted to see it. Part of me wanted to pretend this conversation never happened. What are you going to do? That depends. Samuel paused. Do you want me to stop this? I can go to Christian tonight. Show him everything. The wedding won't happen. I closed my eyes, imagining the fallout. My parents' faces, Evelyn's rage, the finger pointing that would inevitably land on me. No. I said finally. Don't show Christian. Nora. I can't be the one who destroys this. If Christian finds out, he has to find out from someone else. I can't be the jealous sister who ruined everything. Silence stretched between us. I understand, Samuel said quietly, but I can't let him marry her. Then do what you have to do, but leave me out of it. Are you sure? I'm sure. When we hung up, my hands were shaking. Nicholas found me sitting in the dark an hour later. Whatever's happening, he said, pulling me close, it's not your responsibility. He was right, but the wedding was in 7 days, and whatever Samuel was planning, I was about to watch it unfold. The morning of Evelyn's wedding dawned gray and humid, the kind of weather that makes hair frizz and photographers nervous. By noon, the clouds had broken just enough to let through pale sunlight. Perfect, everyone said, for photos. Westfield Estate sprawled across 12 acres of manicured grounds, its grand ballroom designed to hold 400 guests comfortably. Today, it would host 300 people who had come to witness the union of Evelyn Bellamy and Christian Hayes. I came alone. Nicholas had offered to drive me, to wait in the parking lot, to be there when I needed to leave. But his name wasn't on any invitation. Limited space, Evelyn had explained again, her voice tight with insincerity. My boyfriend of 2 years, not worth a folding chair. I found my seat at the back of the ballroom, almost against the wall. Row 15, seat 23 to 299 out of 300 guests. I could have laughed if it didn't sting so much. The room filled slowly. Women in designer dresses, men in tailored suits, the subtle competition of wealth on full display. I recognized almost no one. Then I saw Samuel. He stood at the front with the other groomsmen, adjusting his boutonniere. He looked calm, too calm, like a man who had already made peace with what he was about to do. Our eyes met across the sea of guests. He nodded once, almost imperceptibly. My stomach tightened. Julian stood in line with the groomsmen too, third from the left. Even from here, I could see the sheen of sweat on his forehead. His tie looked too tight. His smile looked too forced. He knew something was wrong. He just didn't know what. The string quartet began to play, and 300 heads turned toward the entrance. The bride was coming. Evelyn appeared in the doorway like a vision from a bridal magazine. The dress was everything my mother had dreamed of. $15,000 of hand-sewn lace, a cathedral train that seemed to go on forever, a veil so delicate it looked like morning mist. Evelyn floated down the aisle on our father's arm, her smile radiant, her eyes fixed on Christian at the altar. My mother was already crying. Isn't she beautiful? Someone whispered behind me. Stunning, another voice agreed. Like a princess. I watched my father hand Evelyn over to Christian. His face glowed with pride, the kind of pride I'd spent a lifetime trying to earn. Mom clutched her handkerchief, dabbing at tears that had been waiting 20 years to fall. Their perfect daughter. Their perfect moment. At the altar, Christian took Evelyn's hands. His face was open, trusting, full of a love so genuine it made my chest ache. He had no idea. No idea that the woman in white had spent months lying to him. No idea that his own brother knew what her lips tasted like. I, Christian, take you, Evelyn, to be my wife, he said, voice steady. To have and to hold from this day forward. To be honest and faithful. Honest. Faithful. The irony wasn't lost on me. Evelyn repeated her vows without a tremor, without a flicker of guilt. She was good. She had always been good at performing. I now pronounce you husband and wife. The crowd erupted in applause. 300 people celebrating a lie. I clapped too. What else could I do? But as the newlyweds swept back up the aisle, I caught Julian's expression. White as paper, sweating through his expensive suit. Whatever was coming, he felt it too. We all did. We just didn't know how close it was. The reception was held in the grand ballroom, transformed into a wonderland of white roses and candlelight. Crystal chandeliers cast soft prisms across the dance floor where Evelyn and Christian swayed through their first dance. I sat at a table near the back with guests I didn't know. Nobody introduced themselves. Nobody asked my name. Then my mother took the microphone. I want to say a few words about my beautiful daughter. The room quieted. Patricia Bellamy stood at the center of attention, exactly where she'd always wanted to be. Evelyn has been my pride and joy since the moment she was born. I knew she was special. I knew she was destined for great things. Mom's voice cracked with rehearsed emotion. And now, seeing her with Christian, I know all my dreams for her have come true. The guests murmured approval. My father beamed. And of course, Mom continued, scanning the room, my other daughter is here somewhere. Nora, wave from wherever you are. 299 faces turned, searching. A few people chuckled when they couldn't find me. I didn't wave. Well, she's shy. Mom laughed it off. Anyway, to the bride and groom. To the bride and groom, the crowd echoed. I sat perfectly still, heat rising in my cheeks. My other daughter. Not my younger daughter. Not my second child. My other daughter. Like I was an accessory she'd almost forgotten to mention. At the head table, Samuel checked something beneath his napkin. A laptop case partially hidden, a USB drive in his palm. He caught my eye. His expression said, "It's time." And now, the MC announced, "Please welcome the best man for his toast." Samuel rose slowly, adjusted his tie, smiled. It wasn't a warm smile. It was the smile of someone about to burn down a house of cards. Samuel walked to the microphone with the measured pace of a man who had rehearsed this moment 100 times. The room settled into expectant silence. Christian and I met freshman year of college, he began, his voice warm, conversational. He let me borrow his notes when I missed class, brought me soup when I had the flu, talked me through every bad breakup I've ever had. Laughter rippled through the crowd. Christian grinned, raising his champagne glass. He's the most loyal person I know. The most honest. The kind of man who believes everyone deserves the truth, no matter how hard it is to hear. Something shifted in Samuel's tone, subtle, but I caught it. A slight hardening at the edges. Christian once told me that trust is the foundation of any relationship. That without honesty, love means nothing. Samuel paused. I've always admired that about him. The room was still smiling, still nodding along. But at the head table, Evelyn's hand had frozen halfway to her water glass. That's why, Samuel continued, I think Christian deserves the truth. Always. Christian laughed nervously. Getting a little serious there, buddy. I am serious. Samuel's eyes locked onto the groom's. Dead serious. Silence. The string quartet had stopped playing. Waiters paused mid-step. 300 people held their breath without knowing why. I struggled with whether to do this, Samuel said, his voice carrying to every corner of the room. For weeks, I asked myself if it was my place, if I should just let things happen. He looked at Evelyn, then at Julian, whose face had gone the color of old milk. But Christian is my brother in every way that matters. And he deserves to know who he's married. My mother's smile had frozen. My father's champagne glass hung suspended in midair. Before I finish, Samuel said, I think everyone deserves to see what true love looks like. The massive screen behind the head table flickered to life. At first, I thought it was part of the planned slideshow. Photos of Christian and Evelyn, their love story in pictures. But then the image sharpened, and the room went cold. It was the engagement party. The corner of the Hayes estate garden, partially hidden by hedges. Two figures pressed together in the shadows. A woman in a champagne dress. A man with dark hair. Evelyn and Julian, kissing like they'd done it 1,000 times before. Gasps rippled through the crowd like a wave. Someone dropped a champagne glass. It shattered on the marble floor, the sound absurdly loud in the stunned silence. "What is this?" Christian's voice came out strangled, unrecognizing. The video changed. Screenshots now. Text messages enlarged for all 300 guests to read. "Julian, I can't stop thinking about last night." "Evelyn, me neither. When can I see you again?" "Julian, this is crazy. He's my brother." "Evelyn, he doesn't have to know. No one has to know." The messages continued. Dates spanning months. Details that left nothing to imagination. Evelyn screamed, "Turn it off! Turn it off!" But Samuel didn't move toward the laptop. Neither did the tech crew, frozen in shock. "Christian." Samuel's voice cut through the chaos. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you had to find out this way. But I couldn't let you live a lie." Christian stood slowly. His face was white, his hands trembling. He turned to his bride, his wife of less than an hour. "Tell me it's fake," he whispered. "Tell me it's photoshopped. Tell me something." Evelyn's mouth opened, closed, opened again. No words came. And in that silence, 300 guests understood exactly what they were witnessing. The perfect wedding had become the perfect nightmare. The ballroom erupted into chaos. Christian lunged across the table toward Julian. Champagne glasses flew. Flower arrangements scattered. It took 3 groomsmen to hold him back. And even then his fist connected with Julian's jaw, hard enough to send him sprawling. "My own brother." Christian's voice broke, raw with betrayal. "My own brother." Julian scrambled backward, hands raised. "Christian, listen to me. Months? There are months of messages." Evelyn threw herself between them, mascara streaming down her face. "Christian, please. Please just let me explain. It was a mistake. One terrible mistake." Christian shoved past her like she wasn't there. "Don't touch me. Don't you ever touch me again." "Christian, we've been married for 45 minutes. His laugh was hollow, broken. 45 minutes, and I already want a divorce. Guests were streaming toward the exits. Some watched in horrified fascination. Phones raised to capture the wreckage. Others fled like the building was on fire. Mrs. Hayes, Christian's mother, had collapsed into a chair, her husband frantically fanning her face. She kept whispering, "No, no, no," like a prayer that had already gone unanswered. Julian stumbled to his feet, blood dripping from his lip. "Christian, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Get out." Christian's voice was deadly quiet now. "Get out before I do something we'll both regret." 2 of the groomsmen escorted Julian toward the back exit. He didn't resist. He didn't look back. And Evelyn, perfect, beautiful Evelyn, stood alone at the center of her $15,000 dress, watching everything she'd built crumble around her. For a moment, just a moment, I almost felt sorry for her. Then I remembered every cruel word, every dismissive glance, every time she'd made me feel like nothing. The moment passed. In the chaos, I had almost forgotten about my parents. I found them near the head table, frozen like statues in a hurricane. My mother's grip on my father's arm was so tight her knuckles had gone white, her manicured nails leaving crescents in his jacket sleeve. "Did you know?" Her voice shook, barely above a whisper. "Richard, did you know about this?" "No." My father's face was gray, aged 10 years in 10 minutes. "No, I didn't know. I swear to God I didn't know." "Our Evelyn," Mom's voice cracked. "Our perfect Evelyn." She trailed off, unable to finish, unable to reconcile the daughter she'd worshipped for 32 years with the woman who had just destroyed her own wedding. Then my mother saw me. Our eyes met across the chaos. The scattered rose petals, the overturned chairs, the shell-shocked guests. She moved toward me like a woman in a trance. Nora. She grabbed my arms, her fingers digging in. You knew, didn't you? You knew something. I didn't flinch. I suspected. Then why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you warn us? The question hung in the air, so absurd I almost laughed. Would you have believed me? I asked quietly. Of course I would have. Would you? Really? I met her eyes, steady and unflinching. If I had come to you and said Evelyn was cheating on Christian, what would you have done? Would you have believed the other daughter? Or would you have called me jealous? Mom's mouth opened, closed. No words came. That's what I thought. I gently removed her hands from my arms. Behind us, Christian was walking toward the exit, flanked by Samuel and his parents. He didn't look back at Evelyn. Not once. I understood exactly how he felt. Christian stopped at the ballroom entrance and turned to face the remaining guests. Maybe 100 people were still there, too shocked or too curious to leave. His voice was steady when he spoke, eerily so. I want to thank everyone for coming today. I know this isn't the celebration you expected. A bitter smile crossed his face. It's not the one I expected either. Evelyn pushed forward through the crowd. Christian, please, can we just talk in private? Please. He didn't look at her. My attorney will be in contact on Monday. We'll begin annulment proceedings immediately. Annulment? Christian, you can't. I can. And I will. Finally, he turned to face her. You had months to tell me the truth. Months. Instead, you let me stand at that altar and make vows you knew were a joke. They weren't a joke to me. You were sleeping with my brother. Each word landed like a stone. For months. And you married me anyway. What part of that isn't a joke? Evelyn's perfect composure finally shattered. She sank to her knees in her $15,000 dress, the cathedral train pooling around her like a broken cloud. I love you, she sobbed. I love you, Christian. You don't know what love means. He walked out without looking back. His parents followed. Mrs. Hayes supported between her husband and a groomsman. Samuel paused at the door. He found me in the crowd, gave me one final nod. Then he was gone too. The ballroom felt like the aftermath of a bomb. Flowers trampled underfoot, chairs overturned, a wedding cake sitting untouched. Its little bride and groom topper mocking what might have been. And Evelyn still kneeling on the floor, surrounded by everything she'd destroyed. For the first time in my life, I had nothing to say to her. I gathered my purse and walked toward the exit, stepping carefully over scattered rose petals and broken glass. I was almost to the door when my mother intercepted me. Where are you going? Her voice was shrill, desperate. You can't just leave. Yes, I can. But Evelyn needs to deal with the consequences of her own choices. I adjusted my bag on my shoulder. I'm done. Nora, please. Mom clutched my arm. You have to help us figure out what to do. You're her sister. You're supposed to. I'm supposed to what? I turned to face her fully. Clean up her mess? Make her feel better? Be the organized one who fixes everything while Evelyn cries. My voice was calm. Unnervingly calm. You called me the other daughter, tonight in front of 300 people. You've spent 30 years treating me like a backup plan. And now you want my help. Mom's face crumpled. Nora, I love you. I know, Mom. But I'm done being invisible. I gently removed her hand from my arm. When you're ready to have me in your life as your daughter. Not as Evelyn's helper, not as the other one. You know where to find me. I walked out before she could respond. Nicholas was waiting in the parking lot, leaning against his car like he'd been there for hours. Maybe he had. How bad, he asked. Biblical. He opened the passenger door for me without another word. We were halfway home before I realized I was crying. Not for Evelyn, not for my parents, for the little girl who had counted photo album pages and come up short. For the woman who had finally stopped waiting to be seen. Nicholas took my hand. He didn't let go until we got home. The fallout was swift and merciless. Within 48 hours, videos from the wedding had spread across every social media platform that mattered. Someone had captured Samuel's entire speech on their phone. Someone else had filmed Evelyn's breakdown. Another had gotten footage of Julian scrambling away with blood on his face. By Monday morning, Evelyn's carefully curated Instagram following had imploded. She'd built her brand on authenticity, on relationship goals, on sponsored posts about trust and communication. Her 500,000 followers had trusted her. Now they felt betrayed, and they wanted her to pay for it. The comments were brutal. "Can't believe I took advice from a cheater." Her poor husband, 1 hour into the marriage. "How do you cheat with your fiancé's brother? This is what happens when you're beautiful but empty inside." Within a week, she dropped from 500,000 to under 100,000. The brands that had paid her to promote their products vanished overnight. 3 sponsorship deals worth nearly $50,000 a year were canceled before she could even make a statement. The apartment she'd shared with Christian, the luxury high-rise he'd paid for, was no longer hers. She had 72 hours to collect her things. My parents drove to the city to help her move. They came back with a car full of designer clothes and a daughter who wouldn't stop crying. Evelyn moved back into her childhood bedroom at 32 years old. And Julian, he was quietly erased from the Hayes family. He'd been working at a gym partially owned by a Hayes family trust. That ended immediately. Last I heard, he'd moved to Arizona. Fresh start, new name on his social profiles. The pretty one and the golden brother. Look how far they'd fallen. 2 weeks after the wedding, my mother called. I almost didn't answer, but something in me, the part that had never fully given up hope, made me accept. "Nora." Her voice sounded different, smaller. "I need to talk to you." "About what?" A long pause. "I've been doing a lot of thinking. About Evelyn. About everything." I waited. "I didn't see it," she continued, her voice breaking. "All those years, I didn't see who she really was. I was so focused on her beauty, her success, her potential. I missed everything that mattered." "Mom, let me finish." A shaky breath. "I'm sorry I didn't see the real Evelyn. I'm sorry I trusted her when I shouldn't have." I noticed what she wasn't saying. "And?" I prompted quietly. "And what? You're sorry you didn't see Evelyn clearly. What about me? Are you sorry about how you treated me for 30 years? Silence. I wasn't trying to hurt you, Nora. I just thought Evelyn needed more." "More what? More love? More attention? More $85,000 weddings? That's not fair. Neither was calling me the other daughter in front of 300 people." I heard her crying on the other end of the line. Part of me wanted to comfort her. A bigger part refused. "When you're ready to apologize for how you treated me, not just for trusting Evelyn, call me back." I hung up. 3 hours later, a text from my father. "I'm sorry for everything. Not just this." It wasn't enough, but it was the first time he'd ever acknowledged it. Maybe there was hope. Maybe not. Either way, I wasn't going to wait around anymore to find out. I had my own life to build. Nicholas and I set a date. Not a venue like Westfield Estate. Not a guest list of 300 strangers. Not a $15,000 dress, or a champagne fountain, or a string quartet. Just a backyard, a minister, 30 people who actually loved us. "Are you sure about this?" Nicholas asked, watching me address invitations at our kitchen table. "We could do something bigger. A restaurant, maybe." "I'm sure." I sealed another envelope. I spent my whole life watching my parents pour everything into Evelyn's perfect moments. I don't need perfect. I need real. He kissed my forehead. "Have I mentioned I love you? Once or twice?" Well, here it is again. Work was going well too. The event planning company I'd given 6 years of my life to finally recognized what I could do. 3 months after Evelyn's wedding, I was promoted to senior event coordinator. More responsibility, better pay. A corner office with windows. Nobody handed it to me. I earned it. Samuel stayed in touch. He'd worried after the wedding that I blamed him for the chaos. I didn't. Christian deserved the truth, and Samuel had given it to him. Sometimes friendship means telling people what they don't want to hear. Christian himself was healing slowly. The annulment went through without contest. Evelyn had no grounds to fight it. Last Samuel told me, Christian was dating again. Nothing serious, just learning to trust. He asked about you, Samuel mentioned during one of our calls. Wanted me to tell you he's grateful for not warning Evelyn, for letting the truth come out. I didn't do anything. Sometimes that's exactly what's needed. The text came 2 months after the wedding. Can we talk? I need my sister. I stared at my phone for a long time. Nicholas was grading papers at the kitchen table, glasses sliding down his nose, red pen in hand. Normal, quiet, safe. Evelyn, I said. He looked up. What does she want? To talk. Do you want to? Did I? I'd spent 2 months in blissful silence. No family drama, no comparisons, no feeling like I wasn't enough. Part of me wanted to keep it that way forever. But another part, the part that still remembered braiding Evelyn's hair when we were little, sharing secrets under blankets, being sisters before we were rivals. That part wasn't ready to let go completely. I think I have to, I said finally. For closure, if nothing else. I texted back. Coffee? Saturday? Public place. No parents. Her response came immediately. Thank you. Thank you so much. Saturday arrived gray and drizzling. I got to the cafe first, ordered a latte, chose a table near the window where I could watch the rain. Evelyn appeared 10 minutes late, which was on time for her. But the woman who walked through the door wasn't the sister I remembered. She looked thinner, paler. The blonde hair that had always been perfectly styled hung limp around her face. No makeup, no designer clothes, just jeans and a sweater that had seen better days. She slid into the seat across from me, hands wrapped around her untouched coffee, like it was a lifeline. Thank you for meeting me. Don't thank me yet. I kept my voice even. I haven't decided what I'm willing to give you. She flinched, but she nodded. I deserve that, she said quietly. We sat there, 2 strangers who used to be sisters, with everything and nothing between us. I messed up. Evelyn's voice was barely above a whisper. I know I messed up. Yes, you did. The thing with Julian, it started before the engagement. I know. That doesn't make it better, but I want you to understand. I was scared. Christian was so perfect, and I was terrified I wasn't enough for him. So you slept with his brother? She winced. I'm not asking you to understand. I want you to know I'm sorry. For the affair. For everything. I leaned back in my chair, studying her. The woman in front of me looked broken. Genuinely, thoroughly broken. Part of me wanted to reach across the table and hug her. A bigger part remembered every cruel word she'd ever spoken. Are you sorry for the affair? I asked carefully. Or are you sorry for how you treated me for 29 years? Evelyn blinked. What do you mean? I mean you called me the organized one in front of your friends like it was an insult. I mean you let Mom spend my entire childhood comparing us. I mean you stood by while they called you the pretty one and treated me like I didn't exist. I didn't. I never asked them to. But you didn't stop them either, did you? Silence. No, she admitted finally. I didn't. We sat there, the weight of 30 years pressing down on the table between us. I can forgive the affair, I said slowly. That was between you and Christian. It wasn't my business. But I can't forget how you and Mom and Dad made me feel my whole life. I'm not ready to pretend it didn't happen. Evelyn's eyes filled with tears. What do you want from me? I want you to see me. Really see me, for once in our lives. She didn't have an answer. Neither did I. I called my parents the week before my wedding. Mom answered on the second ring. Nora. Her voice was cautious, hopeful. The voice of someone waiting for permission to come back into your life. I'm getting married, I said. Saturday 3 o'clock. Oh honey, let me finish. I took a breath. It's going to be small. 30 people. Nicholas's parents' backyard. Silence. You're invited, I continued. Both of you. But I need you to understand something first. Anything. If you come as my parents. Not as Evelyn's parents who happen to have another daughter. Not as people who wish they'd invested in someone else. As my parents. Can you do that? More silence. I heard my father's voice in the background, asking what I'd said. Richard. My mother said quietly. Nora's getting married. A rustling sound. Then my father's voice closer. We'll be there, sweetheart. Whatever you need. I need you to see me, I said. That's all I've ever needed. We see you. Dad's voice cracked. I know we haven't always shown it, but we see you. Mom came back on the line. Can we bring a gift? I know we didn't help with the planning, and I know she stopped. Started again. I know I haven't been fair to you. I'm trying to do better. That's all I'm asking, I said. Just try. When we hung up, Nicholas was watching me from the doorway. How did it go? They're coming. I smiled, surprised to find it was genuine. They're actually coming. How do you feel? I thought about it, hopeful, terrified, but mostly just ready. He crossed the room and pulled me into his arms. You're going to be a beautiful bride, he said. I'm going to be a real one. That's better. The day I married Nicholas, it rained. Not a polite drizzle like Evelyn's wedding day. A full downpour that turned the backyard into a muddy mess and forced all 35 of us under a rented tent that had definitely seen better days. It was perfect. My dress cost $300 from a vintage shop downtown. My flowers were wildflowers Nicholas had picked from a field near his parents' house. The minister was a family friend who kept mixing up his notes and making us laugh. And I was so happy. My parents sat in the second row. Not the first, which belonged to Nicholas's parents. The people who had welcomed me into their family without conditions or comparisons. But they were there. Mom cried through the whole ceremony. Dad kept clearing his throat and blinking hard. For once, I think they were crying for me. Samuel came, bringing Christian along. He looked good, lighter than he had at his own disastrous wedding, like he'd finally set down something heavy. He hugged me before the ceremony. Thank you, he said simply. For what? For not being like her. Evelyn wasn't there. I hadn't invited her. We weren't ready for that, not yet. But she'd sent flowers and a card. I hope this is the first day of your happily ever after. You deserve it. It wasn't forgiveness, but maybe it was a start. When Nicholas and I said our vows, I didn't think about the venue that wasn't Westfield Estate or the dress that wasn't designer. I thought about 35 people who showed up in the rain because they loved us. I choose you, Nicholas said. Today and every day after. I was crying too hard to respond properly, but I think he understood. Sometimes people ask me if I hate my parents, if I hate Evelyn. The answer is more complicated than yes or no. I spent 29 years waiting to be seen. Waiting for my mother to look at me the way she looked at my sister. Waiting for my father to speak up just once and say I was enough. Waiting for Evelyn to acknowledge that she'd been given everything I'd been denied. Here's what I've learned. Waiting for other people to validate you is a losing game. You can spend your whole life performing for an audience that's looking at someone else. Or you can build your own stage. My relationship with my parents is still a work in progress. We have dinner once a month now. They ask about my job, my marriage, my life. It's awkward sometimes, but they're trying. And for the first time, that feels like enough. Evelyn and I text occasionally. Nothing deep, just checking in. The tentative small talk of people rebuilding something from rubble. Maybe we'll never be close. Maybe that's okay. Some wounds heal differently than others. But here's the thing I want you to take from this story. If you take anything at all, your worth isn't determined by who loves you most. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's survival. And sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's just living well. If you're someone's other daughter, someone's backup plan, someone's afterthought, know that you deserve to be someone's first choice. Not because you're the prettiest or the most successful or the most connected, just because you're you. I was always visible. They just chose not to look. Now I'm building a life with people who see me clearly. And honestly, that's worth more than any $85,000 wedding. And that's my story. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. I know it was a long one, but it took me 29 years to tell it. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories. Drop a comment below. What would you have done differently? And if you want more family drama stories, check out the links in the description. Take care of yourselves and remember, you deserve to be someone's first choice.